What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of computer science? You may think of programming software, coding in a variety of languages, working with cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, and so much more. We incorporate factors of computer science into our daily lives without fully realizing it. And because there are many people who have careers specialized in the computer science field, we may think that there are loads of access, interests, and opportunities in the subject. However, that's not the case. Research shows that computer science is a dying subject in many schools. So we need to get kids more excited about computer science. And the best way to do that is through video games. Computer science as a subject is heavily underrated and underutilized in schools. In a study conducted in 2011, research shows that out of the 42,000 schools in the United States, only 2,100 schools are certified to teach computer science courses. That's 5% of schools. And out of the 16.7 million high school students in the US, only 21,139 students were taking the APCS exam, which is much lower compared to most of the other AP subjects. I'm curious why many schools are not teaching computer science, considering that it is a very popular subject in many colleges. It even includes Ivy League universities. For example, computer science at Harvard is one of the more popular majors at 7.8% of the student population. At Brown University, it's at the top of the chart with 8.8% of students. For Stanford University, it's at an impressive 17.4%. And at MIT, it's at a whopping 30.6%. Which is pretty obvious that computer science is a highly recognized and sought after field at many colleges. This is why students should have the ability to get a head start on the subject in high school. However, it's not enough that we create computer science courses at more schools. Yes, we must do that, but we must also create CS courses that will excite students. At my school, my teachers have considered combining computer science classes with video game design courses. And I have proof that this method works, because video games are actually how I came into coding and computer science. When I was around 12 years old, my dad took me and my family over to his friend's house just to hang out. While we were there, my dad's friend mentioned that his son just finished learning Python coding. At that time, I had no knowledge of Python. I didn't even know what coding was, to be honest. When I kept hearing Python come up in the conversation, I was so confused with why my dad was so impressed with this obsession with what I thought was just a big snake. Obviously, I finally caught on. As we were leaving, however, my dad started to criticize me, mentioning that this child was my age and had already learned multiple coding languages, while I knew nothing related to coding. He claimed that I was just wasting my free time. I think it goes without saying, but my dad convinced me to take part in learning coding, starting with Python, and I agreed. He ordered a textbook for me to learn from and introduced me to an application where I can practice my Python code. From there, I started learning the basics. Everything was going great for about 2 days. Then I found it confusing and almost wanted to give up. My dad noticed my lack of motivation and signed me up for an online coding class known as Code Wizards. Through Code Wizards, I learned Python code by coding games. This raised my interest in coding and I needed more. Today, I've finished learning a good number of coding languages. It was at this moment I realized that students tend to learn better if you make the subject more enjoyable by relating it to their interests. So, since I enjoyed video games, I had no difficulty learning to code since we were learning by making games. This concept doesn't relate to just coding, but nearly all components of computer science. Right now, many companies are investing in educational opportunities to reach youth and teach them coding. One company in particular that is doing this is Unity, a game engine that revolves around C++, C Sharp, Java, and more. This summer, I enrolled myself into a video game design course hosted by the University of Texas, and we use Unity to make simple 2D games. We even learned to use C Sharp in order to program for our game to work. Now, I'm sure we've all heard of Minecraft. Well, Minecraft released a Minecraft Hour of Code, a version known as the Education Edition, which can be utilized by students. I personally have tried out the Hour of Code, and I did the AI version. It teaches you about the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. In this case, they teach you to program a little robot so that it can help with solving some of the issues going on in the village. There are even some games that focus specifically on factors of computer science. For example, games like Minecraft or Rocket League are strong for their AI. Now, imagine what classrooms would look like if companies integrated educational opportunities to teach CS skills. I imagine classrooms full of students playing video games wondering what they did to get the right to play games and code during school hours. These are the types of opportunities that students are hungry for and would garner excitement amongst my peers. Now, I'm not just telling you about the solution I want us to make, but I'm also trying to lead by example. Me, my STEM teachers, and a couple of my classmates are teaming up to develop a video game about astronomy. This game will specifically focus on the debris in space, because debris and space junk is a huge issue for our Earth's surroundings. A study by NASA estimated nearly 500,000 pieces of debris in space, and over the past years, there are multiple incidents of space vehicles, such as satellites and rockets, being damaged by the debris flying around. So, for this reason, my team decided to apply this issue for our project. Getting students excited about computer science isn't just about video games or coding. It's about our collective future and the expansion of technology and information. Cryptocurrency, electric cars, deeper expeditions through space. These are all things happening right now that have to do with computer science. Our world is becoming more complex, and we need students who will become leaders to understand computer science and tackle those complex challenges with innovative solutions. We need to get students excited about computer science because our future depends on the next generation of diverse leaders. So, to help out with the next generation, you can consider enrolling yourself into a computer science course if your school teaches any. If not, you can learn through any of the amazing courses online. If you're graduating high school and you're not sure about which pathway to accept, then perhaps give computer science a try, because not only will you have a big impact on the future of the next generation, but you'll also get bragging rights for it. Thank you.